Hi everybody, my name is Tim Schneider with Aegis Learning, and this is our ongoing series in Leading Edge about superpowers. Now, I mentioned a few episodes back how thankful I was to have people in my life that I can discuss content with and in many cases get a different perspective on. And this episode really has a lot of that conversation, very, very lengthy conversation woven into that. And today is about comparing superpowers. Now, whether you think that comparing is all about an innate human thing or whether it's a learned thing, and if it is learned, it's learned very early in childhood, it doesn't really matter. What we're going to talk about is how dangerous it is and how wrong it is really to compare superpowers and develop envy over it. Now, this dialogue kind of started over a conversation where I expressed, I expressed envy about another person's superpower. Theirs was, they were just incredibly naturally empathetic. And I said, gosh, I used these exact words. I wish I could be more empathetic like you. Now, inherently there's nothing really horrible about that, but what it does is it kind of devalues my superpowers while looking at somebody else's and saying, God, I wish I had that. You know what? Our superpowers and what our key learning has to be, our superpowers are really, really unique to us. And whether we have 2, whether we have 20, it doesn't matter. Ours are unique. Everybody else's are unique to them. And it's within that kind of framework and those puzzle pieces that make an organization work well, that make a society and a community work well, when all of those are different. If we all had the same superpowers, it just wouldn't work right. So what I'm going to encourage you to do, first of all, absolutely admire and respect someone else's superpower. That's awesome. I love how empathetic you are. That's all you have to say. It's not, I want to be, I wish I had that. No, I admire that in you. At the same time, respect and admire your own superpowers. Now, there's something else that plays into this too, and that is monetary value that we, organizations, society, place on these superpowers. If you consider for a minute somebody who is an exceptional customer service representative and somebody that's an exceptional salesperson. Both of them have incredible interaction skills. They're able to relate to people, show interest to people, and do incredible things for people. But monetarily, historically at least, that salesperson is rewarded at a much higher level and valued at a much higher level by most organizations than that customer service person. You can even then extrapolate that more broadly into things like professional sports. Some of those guys have just incredible gifts and superpowers, and they are rewarded so incredibly handsomely for it, monetarily. Your superpower of appreciation, your superpower of diffusing difficult situations probably doesn't get that same kind of monetary ranking. Here's what I'm going to encourage you to think about. It doesn't matter. Just because it's valued monetarily doesn't mean it's valued less. You know what? If somebody appreciates your gratitude or your appreciation, that's awesome. You don't need to be paid for that. If somebody appreciates how you deal with difficult situations and the grace that you use in those difficult situations, maybe you don't get paid for it, or maybe you don't get paid much for it. You know what? It doesn't matter. It's still an incredibly valuable superpower. If you remember correctly, I told you I'd weave some of this in from time to time. If you remember correctly, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, they weren't compensated for their superpowers. They did it for overall good. And you know what? Whether your superpower is compensated monetarily or whether it isn't and just appreciated in other ways, it doesn't matter. It's great. Keep using them. So again, let's do a couple of things. Let's not be so anxious to compare and be envious of superpowers of others. Respect and appreciate theirs. Respect and appreciate yours. And don't use monetary value as a gauge of how important your superpower is. Your superpower is unique, and you know what? It is important. When we wrap up this series next time around, we're going to talk about some of the risks, the kryptonites, if you will, associated with superpowers. After that, we're going to start a brand new series, which I'm really looking forward to. And I hope you have a tremendous week. Take care and use those superpowers wisely, everybody.